This is a 2019 ŠKODA FABIA Facelift. So basically it's a refreshment of the 2014 car, because after all, last year we had the new Polo and the year before that we had the new Ibiza, and now they're based on Volkswagen's MQB platform, so they're much larger and they're much more advanced. So ŠKODA had to do something to bring this car back in shape, and they couldn't obviously enlarge it with a new platform all of a sudden. So they gave it a new face, refreshed looks, refreshed bumpers, lights and stuff, and it has more tech. So we want to find out whether this car has finally caught up after 2 years of absence with its rivals. So let's find out. Now, when I say absence, I don't mean that this car has been off the market. I just mean that it has been absent as a competitor rival because it's smaller, it's lagging on tech, or it used to lag on tech before this facelift came along. So now we really have to find out whether it's now back as a competitive rival or actually as a better rival as it was in 2014. It was the king of the supermini market back then. Obviously it fell back, and now we want to see whether it has caught up again. Now, this is a 2014 pre-facelift car. You can see how the grille ends here and how the light looks. And now we'll go to the 2019 model year car. As you can see, on the old car, this line and this line, they used to meet at one corner. Now there's an extra edge, which gives more of a sportier look to the grille, to the car, and increases the appeal factor. And even the headlights, they're slimmer. On the old car, this line used to go like this and go up, and there was another edge here which used to meet the grille. Now, instead of that, all that fuss, there's just one line that meets the grille, and that's it. So if you like it or not, that's up to you, but you have to accept two things. It's much more simpler, just one line instead of two lines, and it's a bit more aggressive and a bit more sportier. So I used to like the old one. It was absolutely fantastic, and this one is no bad thing either. So I like this one, and so I'm not disappointed with this new car at all. Also, the bottom part of the grille is honeycomb patterned and not slatted like it was on the old car. The rear end of this new 2019 ŠKODA FABIA is no different from the old car except for two things: reflector strips and LED brake lights. So from this facelift onwards, every ŠKODA FABIA will get rear reflector strips as standard. This was not the case with the pre-facelift FABIA. And also from now you have the option to get LED brake lights, which you could not with the old car. So yeah, these LED tail lamps, they're options, but I think they're worth the money because they look really cool, and you know, the whole design is just much more attractive than the old halogen ones. So if you can spare the cash, then do it. But remember that only the brake lights are LED, and the turn signals and the reversing lights, they are still halogen. So you know, don't think that it's an entirely LED setup. It's just the brake lights. So just be aware of that. However, the interior of this new FABIA is hardly any different from the old cars because the layout is the same. Yes, you do get this special carbon fiber effect decor for the Monte Carlo models from this facelift onwards, and you didn't get them on the pre-facelift Monte Carlo models. But really, as I said, the whole positioning, the whole layout is the same. It feels just like the old car. Even this 6.5-inch system called the swing system now, it was available on the old car. It wasn't called swing, it was called something else, but the size was the same. It was an option back then. First you got a music system, then a 5-inch system, then the 6.5-inch one. Now is standard, but really it's sort of like the S8 and the S9. So they have the same size, the screen is the same size, they look the same, but the operating system is different. So this one is much more easier now, and it's a whole different system. It's a better one now. And yeah, so that's the technology side. But really, the whole interior feels a bit better because of the plastics. Now, they're still scratchy ones, right? They're not soft touch, but they feel a little bit less scratchy. The scratching is a little less, audible. So I think they improved the quality as well. And apart from that, however, it's the same car. Same amount of width, the same amount of headroom. Nice, actually, even with this panoramic glass roof, lots of leg room. So it's a spacious car, but it feels more expensive now because of this screen being standard and the materials feeling more expensive. However, what you're staring at now isn't the swing system, it's the upgraded Amensen system, which is the same size, unfortunately. So basically, if you get a base model FABIA, you're getting a great deal because it has a 6.5-inch system compared to only a 5-inch system with the base model SEAT Ibizas. However, if you want to upgrade, in the Ibiza, you can go all the way up to an 8-inch system, whereas in the FABIA, you stay stuck at a 6.5-inch one. So this Amensen system gets you navigation and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it's the same size, so you have to make that sacrifice. From a rear seat occupant's point of view, however, this new FABIA is hardly any different from the old one. I mean, the materials, they're the same scratchy ones that you had on the old car. Up front, they have been changed. They're a bit better now, but here, they're the same quality. They make the same scratchy sound. And unless you look up front and see that big screen, it feels the same. The amount of space that you get on these Monte Carlo models is the same. So basically there's less leg room than on the normal cars because these sport seats, they are a bit bulkier and they eat into your leg room. It was the same on the old car as well. So unless you really want these sport seats, it's better not to get the Monte Carlo trim because, you know, they'll eat into your leg room. However, headroom is pretty good because even with this glass roof, I have lots of space. So even 6-foot people shouldn't have any problem. The width is okay. I mean, for 2 people, it's perfect. For 3 people, it should be doable. But, you know, just like the old car, it should be all right. So yeah, on the whole, for a rear seat occupant, it feels just like the old car, which means that it feels great. It's a good place to be, just that these Monte Carlo seats are a bit bulky. So better not get them. Yeah. What the new facelift does not change about the Fabia is that the space remains the same. So the hatchback still has 330 liters of boot space, whereas the Estate behind me has 530 liters of boot space. So the hatchback is no longer the king because the SEAT Ibiza has 355 and the Volkswagen Polo has 350 liters of boot space, whereas the Estate is still the king because no other supermini can ever reach that amount of boot space. So yeah, it's no different from the old car. It's still pretty good. That's what I can say about it. So now let's discuss some tech. As you know, the LED daytime running lights, DRLs, are standard. This 6.5-inch swing system is standard as well, and electronic stabilization is standard, and other small things as well. What are new that you can now get park assist, lane keep assist, and a better cruise control and live traffic update. All of those are options and they were not available before. So now if you want your Fabia to be even more safer, even more capable, you can do that by just adding those options. Now let's talk engines. As of now, there are 3 options. All of them are 1-liter 3-cylinder petrol options, so there are no diesels at all. The first one is a 74 brake horsepower one. It's an MPI, so it's a naturally aspirated one, no turbocharging. It has 95 Nm of torque and it's mated to a 5-speed manual. After that, you have the turbocharged option. It's a 94 brake horsepower one with 160 Nm of torque, and it's once again mated to the same 5-speed manual. After that, top of the range one, it's a 108 brake horsepower option mated to a 6-speed manual. It has 200 Nm of torque and it's the only one where you can get a automatic, and that will be a 7-speed one. It's a DSG. But you can still get, if in the future, you can get a 5-speed manual, 95 Nm of torque, 59 brake horsepower one for the city use. So if you want a car just for city, you can get that one. But really, the turbocharged ones are better because they're a bit more quicker and they consume less, and you know, you can get a DSG with the topmost one. But obviously cost more, yeah. So that was the 2019 ŠKODA Fabia Facelift. What do you think of it then? Well, to me, the Fabia has always been a great car, but that's not the point here. The point is this new facelift better than, or at least as good as, the Polo and the Ibiza? The answer depends on who you are. If you're someone who's ready to spend a lot of money on as much as possible, then you can go get the GTI, Polo GTI with 200 brake horsepower, or get an Ibiza with lots of tech with the 8-inch system and digital driver's display and as much as possible. But if you're on a budget and are trying to find as much tech as possible for a fixed budget, then this is better, because even with the base models, this car is a few €100 and a few £100 cheaper than those 2 cars, yet it has more tech. It has a larger screen as standard and more tech as standard, so you can get this one. But remember that this car is smaller. It's narrower, shorter, and has a smaller boot, but not by a big difference. So it really depends on who you are. And to me, this car is a bit better looking than those 2 cars. So that's my personal opinion there as well. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like it. If you know someone who's interested in this content, then please share it with them. If you want to give any suggestions or have any questions, then please comment below. And if you want to show your support, then please subscribe. Thanks for watching.